Life has a way of surprising you in the harshest ways. I never thought I would be sitting here, telling the world how I lost everything I worked for, not just in a fire, but in the betrayal of a company I trusted for 20 long years. For 2 decades, I paid my home insurance premiums on time. Never missed a payment. Rain or shine, job changes, personal struggles, every single month, I made sure the insurance company got their money. Why? Because I believed in security. I believed that if the worst ever happened, they would be there. I was wrong. It all started on a winter night in 2023. My wife had gone to visit her sister in another town, and I was home alone. The wind was howling outside, and I remember sitting on the couch with a blanket, sipping coffee, when suddenly I smelled smoke. At first, I thought maybe something was burning in the kitchen. But when I rushed there, everything was fine. Then I turned around and saw that the living room curtains had caught fire. To this day, I don't know if it was faulty wiring or a spark from the heater. But within minutes, the flames spread faster than I could ever imagine. I grabbed a fire extinguisher, tried to fight it, but it was useless. The fire roared like a monster, eating away everything I owned. I ran out into the cold night, watching helplessly as the house I built with my bare hands went up in flames. By the time the fire department arrived, it was too late. The roof had collapsed. All I could do was stand there, tears rolling down my face as my neighbors gathered around, some holding me, others crying with me. It wasn't just a house, it was 20 years of memories. My kids grew up there. Every corner had a story. And now, it was nothing but ashes. But you know what gave me strength that night? The thought that at least I had insurance. At least, I told myself, I had done the responsible thing. The home could be rebuilt. The memories couldn't come back, but at least financially, I would be safe. So, the very next morning, I called my insurance company. I remember the calmness in my voice, despite the devastation. I told them, my home burned down. I need to start the claim process. And that's when my nightmare truly began. At first, they sounded sympathetic. They told me an adjuster would come. They told me to gather documents. They asked for photos of the damage, which I had plenty of. I submitted everything: receipts, proof of ownership, even old photos of the house. Weeks passed, then months, and slowly their tone started to change. The adjuster's questions became sharper. Did you have all your fire alarms working? When was the last time you had your wiring inspected? Can you prove that the fire wasn't caused by negligence? At first, I thought, this is just the process. But then came the letter. A cold, heartless letter that said, after reviewing your claim, we regret to inform you that your loss is not covered due to policy exclusions. 20 years. 20 years of trust. And when I needed them the most, they refused me. I felt like the floor had collapsed beneath me. I sat at the kitchen table of my sister's house, holding that letter, reading it again and again, hoping I had misunderstood. But no, it was clear. They weren't going to pay. They blamed poor maintenance and failure to comply with fire safety requirements. Do you know how it feels when you've done everything right? When you've been responsible? When you've believed in a system and it fails you? It's like being betrayed by a friend. No, worse than that. Because at least a friend doesn't take your money every month while promising to protect you. For days, I couldn't sleep. My wife cried herself to exhaustion. My children asked me, Dad, why won't the insurance help us? And I had no answer. I kept thinking about all those years. The sacrifices I made just to pay those premiums. Skipping vacations, working overtime, saying no to little luxuries. All because I truly believed, that insurance was safety. But in that moment, I realized something painful. Insurance is a business, not a promise. And when money is on the line, they will look for every loophole, every technicality to deny you. If you're watching this, I want you to understand something. This is not just my story. This could be yours. Whether you're in the United States, the UK, or anywhere else, home insurance isn't always what it seems. You think you're covered, but sometimes the fine print says otherwise. In 2025, insurance companies are stricter than ever. Premiums are rising, claims are harder, and the rules are more complicated. And the sad truth is, most homeowners don't even read the fine print. We trust. We pay. And then, when tragedy strikes, we're left standing in the ashes, holding a rejection letter. That's why I'm telling you this. Because my pain should be your warning. I want you to learn from my mistake before it's too late. In the next part of my story, I'll explain exactly why they denied my claim, what I discovered when I dug into the documents, the shocking loopholes hidden in my policy, and the lessons I wish I'd known years ago. Stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could save your home, your money, and your peace of mind. When the shock started to fade, I did what any responsible person would do. I began digging. I wanted to understand why they had denied me after 20 years of loyalty. And what I discovered left me stunned. The insurance company hadn't lied. They hadn't made a mistake. No. They had used the very words written in my own policy against me. Let me explain. When you buy home insurance, you receive a thick booklet, pages and pages of small text. Most of us never read it. We trust the agent's words. We skim the headlines. Fire coverage? Yes. Theft coverage? Yes. And then we sign. But hidden inside that fine print are exclusions, special conditions where the insurance will refuse to pay. And that's exactly what destroyed me. My policy had a clause that said, failure to maintain fire alarms may void coverage. Electrical wiring older than 15 years must be inspected annually. Negligence by the homeowner is not covered. I never noticed those lines. My home was nearly 25 years old, and though I had replaced some wiring, I didn't have the paperwork for every inspection. And the night of the fire, 2 of my smoke detectors were not working. They had dead batteries. So, in the eyes of the company, it wasn't a tragedy. It was my fault. Do you see how this works? The company didn't deny me because I didn't pay. They denied me because I didn't meet conditions that were buried in the fine print. And here's the painful truth. I'm not the only one. In 2025, thousands of homeowners across the USA and UK are facing the same nightmare. According to the UK's Financial Ombudsman Service, nearly 38% of home insurance complaints in 2024 were about denied claims. And in the United States, the National Association of Insurance Commissioners reported that fire-related home claims are among the most disputed. Why? Because fire is expensive. Rebuilding a house in 2025 costs more than ever. Construction costs, labor shortages, inflation, it all adds up. For companies, paying one fire claim could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, what do? They fight. They look for loopholes. They search for one reason, just one reason not to pay. And the most common reasons they deny claims. Let me break it down for you. Lack of maintenance, old wiring, leaky roofs, broken alarms. If they can prove you didn't maintain your home properly, they'll deny you. Policy exclusion. Some policies exclude certain types of fires, for example, if caused by faulty appliances. Others exclude damage if the home was left unoccupied for more than 30 days. Underinsurance, this is a big one. Many people insure their home for less than its actual rebuilding cost. In the UK, studies show nearly 1 in 5 homeowners are underinsured in 2025. In the USA, the gap is even worse because rebuilding costs skyrocketed after 2020. Delayed reporting. If you don't report the fire quickly enough, they may reject it. Suspicion of fraud. Insurance companies are extremely alert about fraud. If they think, even slightly, that you caused the fire on purpose, they'll drag the case for years. Looking back, I realized I made mistakes. Mistakes I didn't even know I was making. I thought paying my premiums was enough. But in reality, insurance is a game of details. And if you don't know the rules, you lose. So, let me share the lessons I wish someone had told me earlier. Lesson number 1. Read every word of your policy. Don't just trust the agent's summary. Read the exclusions. Highlight them. Ask questions. If something sounds confusing, demand clarity in writing. Lesson number 2. Keep proof of maintenance. If your wiring is old, get it inspected every year and keep the receipts. If you replace alarms or appliances, keep the receipts. In court, proof is everything. Lesson number 3. Update your coverage regularly. In 2005, my home was worth half of what it was in 2023, but I never updated my policy. That means even if they had paid, it wouldn't have been enough to rebuild. Don't make that mistake. Lesson number 4. Know the occupancy rules. If you travel, if your home stays empty, check how long your policy allows vacancy. Some UK insurers limit it to 30 days. In the US, some go up to 60. Beyond that, you're unprotected. Lesson number 5. Document everything. Take photos of your home once a year. Store them in the cloud. Keep a digital record of receipts. When disaster strikes, your memory isn't enough. Proof is. I know this sounds technical. I know you might be thinking, this will never happen to me. But I thought the same. I thought being loyal and paying on time was enough. But insurance companies don't pay for loyalty. They pay for compliance. And the sad truth is, they're getting stricter. In the UK, new AI systems in 2025 are scanning claims for red flags instantly. In the US, insurance companies now have entire departments dedicated to finding policy breaches before approving payments. So please, don't just buy insurance. Learn it. Protect yourself, not just with money, but with knowledge. You know what hurt the most? It wasn't just losing the house. It was realizing that the very system I trusted was built to fail me. I gave them 20 years of my life, and when I needed just one chance from them, they walked away. And yet, I don't want you to feel hopeless, because my story, as painful as it is, carries hope for you. If you're listening now, you can prepare better. You can avoid the mistakes I made. You can protect your family in ways I didn't. In the next part, I'll share what I did after the denial, the legal battles, the appeals, and the unexpected advice I got from experts. More importantly, I'll give you practical steps you can take today to make sure you never sit where I'm sitting. When I first got that denial letter, I thought it was the end. But then anger replaced despair. I told myself, I will fight this. So I appealed. I wrote letters. I sent more documents. I called them again and again. Each time, I was met with silence or another rejection. Finally, I decided to seek legal help. I hired an attorney who specialized in insurance disputes. He looked at my case and said something I'll never forget. You've done nothing morally wrong. But in the eyes of the law, the company has the advantage. They wrote the contract. They know every loophole. We filed a complaint. We went through mediation. For months, I lived in limbo, waiting for an answer, paying legal fees, and watching my savings disappear. And in the end, we won a partial settlement. The company agreed to pay me some money, not nearly enough to rebuild the house, but something. A fraction of what I was owed. I accepted it because I had no choice. My family needed a roof. But here's the truth. Most people never even get that far. Most people give up after the first denial. And that's why insurance companies keep winning. So let me share with you what I learned from experts, lawyers, and other victims during this battle. These are not just lessons, they are survival tools. Tip number 1. Never accept the first denial. Insurance companies often deny claims hoping you'll walk away, appeal, demand explanations in writing. Don't be silent. Tip number 2. Document conversations. Every phone call, every email, keep records. Dates, names, times. In court, proof of communication is powerful. Tip number 3. Involve a public adjuster. In the USA, you can hire a licensed public adjuster. They work for you, not the insurance company. Yes, they take a percentage of the payout, but they often get far more than you could on your own. Tip number 4. Know your country's rights. In the UK, the Financial Ombudsman Service can help when insurers act unfairly. In the USA, each state has a Department of Insurance. You can file complaints, and sometimes that pressure alone makes companies cooperate. Tip number 5. Keep your policy updated every year. Inflation is real. In 2025, building materials cost up to 40% more than in 2020. If your policy hasn't been updated, you're at risk of UNDER, INCURANCE. Number 6. Record your home's condition. Walk through your house once a year with a camera. Record everything: wiring, alarms, appliances. Store it in the cloud. If disaster comes, you'll have undeniable evidence. But beyond the paperwork and the rules, let me tell you the hardest part. It's waking up in the middle of the night and reaching for a home that isn't there. It's watching your children cry because the place they grew up in has turned into ashes. It's seeing your wife stare at a rejection letter as if her world has ended. Money matters, yes, but the emotional cost, that's something no insurance can ever replace. For months, I carried guilt. Guilt for not reading the fine print. Guilt for trusting too much. Guilt for failing my family. But one day, my daughter said something that changed me. She said, "Dad, we didn't lose everything. We still have you." And in that moment, I realized, yes, the house was gone. Yes, the insurance betrayed me. But my family's love, our unity, our strength, that was still alive. And that is something no company can deny. So if you're watching this, I beg you, learn from me. Don't wait until it's too late. Check your policy tonight. Read every exclusion. Ask your insurer hard questions. Keep records. Update your coverage. And never, ever assume loyalty will protect you. Because in 2025, insurance is not just about paying premiums. It's about being smarter than the system. And if you ever face what I faced, don't give up. Fight. Appeal. Seek help. Because your voice matters. I lost my home. I lost my faith in the system. But I didn't lose my will to fight. And if sharing my story saves even one family from sitting where I am, then maybe, just maybe, this pain has a purpose. So please, protect your home, protect your family, and protect yourself from the fine print. If this story touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors, anyone who owns a home. Because what happened to me could happen to them. And if you want more stories, more lessons, more warnings that could save you from disaster, subscribe. Join me in spreading awareness so no one else has to face the fire alone. Remember, homes can be rebuilt. Families can recover. But only if we learn, only if we prepare, and only if we never stop fighting for what is right. Thank you for listening to my story. Stay safe, stay aware, and never trust blindly, because your future may depend on it.